Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you may be at in the world. Man, I think it's been quite a long time since I did a live stream after Tony had left. Y'all pretty much should know the drill. I don't want to sound like a broken record here with how busy I've been with work, but I've also been doing some stuff in the background in regards to trying to set up some more cameras. I don't know if you can see, but I've got a patch panel or a wire panel right up there now. I can't even move my hand. There we go, right there. To where now all of the wires that are in my garage are now going through the attic and then coming down over next to the desk here. So everything looks very nice and very neat. This camera here is now the laptop camera. I still have an extra camera that I can use as kind of like a floor camera, but I just don't have it plugged up is all. I haven't quite figured out exactly how I'm going to use it. But I do know, like, when I'm doing like my recorded content, I have 3 different views that I'm going to do tonight, as well as, play some straight pool. So I think this is going to be really cool. But then during certain segments of like recorded content, I can actually do some sort of floor view by putting another camera on a tripod and have whatever angle that I need around the camera. But do me a favor, because I do have the mini split running, and I'd like to know if y'all can hear it. Do y'all hear like a wind sound or a whirring type sound? Specifically, if I turn this camera off, and if I try talking in front of this camera or this microphone that I have here, I actually have to lower its microphone level because it actually picks up my mini split that's on the other side of the garage. So I really don't know how I sound when I'm standing over here, but I do know that when I'm around the table, my vocals still sound pretty darn faint. I can pretty much give you a test of what I'm talking about. So as I walk around the camera, I have a microphone that's right here that should be able to pick me up. And I have a microphone that's right here. Mainly they pick up the table sounds really good, but as far as I know, they just don't pick up my vocals very good, and I haven't figured out a way to boost it at all, to make it any better with regards to any live stream content. Recorded content, I still wear my Bluetooth headset, but at least for my live streams, this is pretty much what I can do, to where at least when I'm standing in front of this camera talking to everybody, hopefully you can hear me at some sort of adequate level, or at least understand. And then of course, if I'm in front of this microphone, you should be able to just hear me loud and clear. Now, let's see here. So, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back up front because I don't really have any special announcements, no giveaways going on as of yet. But if you've been following my Facebook page, y'all should know that I am now officially sponsored. My very first pool-related sponsor, which is Onboard Sportswear. They actually made this really cool shirt for me with my logo, and black and red are my favorite colors. So I don't know if this specific design with my logos and everything are actually available on their website yet. I'm actually still in communications because I actually, Nate from the Cue It Up network hooked me up with them. And so we're trying to figure out when this is actually going to happen to where this kind of design can be publicly available. And you can actually still do some customization. So if you wanted to like support me and my brand per se, you can get this exact shirt with this exact design, and then still be able to like have your name over here, or basically wherever you might want to be able to put your name, as well as have my logo on anywhere on the shirt, because they have these nice little jerseys, and they have mid layers, which is pretty much a long sleeve, very light coated jacket. So if you look at the pinned comment in the live chat, you'll see a link to their website, and then you'll also see that I have a discount code with them. I believe it's LilChris10, all caps, and that way you can get 10% off of your purchase. So if you like this kind of stuff, because this is the same company that makes the Mosconi Cup jerseys, which I'm going to be going to see them again in Las Vegas this coming December. So I think that's going to be really cool. All right, let's turn this back on. So, how's everybody doing? Let's see here. It's been a while since I've talked to everybody. I see we've got Eves in here, Loping CSF. Oh, and I almost forgot, like, you're going to see me look like this a couple of times because I now have another monitor. So, like, here's my laptop, and here's when I'm looking at the camera that's on the laptop. And then I have an external monitor that's up here where I actually have, like, my streaming software and stuff. And so when I'm changing, you're going to occasionally see me look up like this because I'm looking at my streaming software. Shortstop on pool, you're going to take a drink every time I run a rack. Oh boy. I'm going to have to hold you to that one. I might message you when the stream's over and see how sober you might be if I can actually pull this off. I think this is going to be cool. There's my buddy, Mr. Edit One, Adam Noonan, Leon Sagopa, Persistent Wolf Billiards, Eddie Sedgwick, Greg Downey, how's it going? And I'm already caught up with the chat. All right, cool. So I don't know what to expect out of tonight's stream. How's it going, Rogers Randoms? Practicing straight pool has been a struggle again. You know, when I had Tony over here, I've been trying to adhere to the advice that he gave me as far as, you know, picking apart the racks, and of course the same type of advice that Bob from Shortstop on Pool has given me with regards to picking apart the rack, trying to make sure that you can actually break the rack open at appropriate times, you know, just to be able to do a nice high run. My current record is still 79, and I haven't been able to come relatively close to that. But I can say I think it was maybe a few days ago, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I did hit another 50. I just didn't post it because I just feel like only posting, you know, whenever I get new high scores, especially if I can actually, you know, get the 100, which is the whole point of the live stream right now. But a lot of times it's just been a lot of struggling with really getting out of the first rack. But within the past couple of days, I hope I discovered something that I can at least share with everybody as to what I think might be helping me improve my high runs. Because, you know, I've always said that I think my weakest point of my high runs was my pattern selection. And so as I think my pattern selection has gotten better, then I start to notice that my cue ball control needed a whole lot of work, because I might want to try to run a very specific pattern, but then the moment I get out of line, the pattern is pretty much disrupted, and I either have to decide, do I want to come up with a whole new pattern, or do I want to try to get back in line? And usually that ends up with me faulting by missing some sort of shot. And then missing some sort of shot obviously seems to be a real big damper on me being able to make a high run. And the only thing that I've started to notice now that allows me to at least increase my high run attempts, which I hope tonight is going to improve my average, we'll see, is I've now had to lengthen my pre-shot routine. And what do I mean by that? Well, my pre-shot routine always consists of, you know, observing the shot that I'm going to take, observing where I think, or visualizing where I think the cue ball is going to go, or where I'm going to make it go with top spin, bottom spin, left spin, or right spin. And then, but also based on where the cue ball naturally wants to go, can I help it get to a certain area, or do I need to fight it to get to a certain area to play position on the next ball? But what that usually would do is that I would actually not, or how do I phrase this? When I get ready to shoot the current ball, I don't actually, or I haven't been getting directly behind the object ball and visualizing it going into the pocket so I can visualize the ghost ball. I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. What I end up doing is I'm already standing behind the cue ball and visualizing the ghost ball from the cue ball's point of view and not from the object ball's point of view. So what you're going to see from me tonight, you're going to see it a lot. You're going to see where I basically stand behind the object ball, look at it towards the pocket that I plan on making it in, so that way I can visualize the ghost ball and then slide over to the cue ball to try to make sure that the cue ball is what I perceive to be is lined up with the center of the ghost ball. Then I go through all of my pre-shot routines of my practice strokes, figuring out if I'm going to do top spin, bottom spin, yada, yada, yada. And as long as I adhere to doing that, from the past couple of days to even when I go out and play league, I seem to have noticed a boost in making balls, stringing runs together, and stuff. And then what naturally happens, I think, with every pool player, when you have like such a routine down, as you get more and more comfortable, you start to skip a couple of steps. And so like one of the steps that I was skipping was looking at the object ball, visualizing it going into the pocket, and visualizing where the ghost ball is for that object ball from the object ball's point of view, not from the cue ball's point of view. And is there going to be a point in during from here on out to where I might end up skipping that step again? I'm not entirely sure, unless of course we see what's going to happen tonight in regards to what is it going to do with my average. So as much as I would love to be able to score 100, the main focus for tonight is to show off the new camera views that I'm going to show, and then of course see if I can actually get a really good average. And in all actuality, a really good average for me tonight would be 14 plus, right? Meaning that I'm getting out of the first rack on a regular basis, because I think the highest average I've done for everybody is around like 12, which is not getting out of the first rack, essentially. I have finally done a 50 plus live, so maybe doing that again would be really cool. But then, of course, the creme de la creme would be to actually run 100 in front of everybody. But we're going to have to wait and see. Now, with all that being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the first view that I'm going to showcase, and that looks like this. Let me turn this off. Okay, so this should look rather familiar, but you notice that I've cleaned it up a lot. All right, let's see here, because I gotta look at the screen here. So what? Somewhere right around here used to be the YouTube live chat. Well, that's now gone. And then all of my information used to be right around here. Well, that's now gone. I mean, if people should know most of my skill levels and equipment and everything else. So if someone happens to come in and ask, what is he shooting with? What size is the table? The chat will be able to answer that for me. And then up here was the face cam. Well, I've pretty much taken that away as well. So now you just pretty much get to see the whole view of the table from the main camera. And then of course you can see I've got the score down here. Everything else still remains the same. Eventually I'm going to show you a side view, and then I'm going to show you a dual view, which I hope everybody's going to be able to enjoy. So that being said, let's get the show started. All right, Bob. I'm going to try to get you drunk. Let's see what I can do. Except the only thing Bob didn't tell you is that whatever he's going to be drinking is probably going to be like soda or water. Alright, not a bad start. Don't really have much of a break ball. Don't really have much of a break ball at all. Maybe the 9 ball from way up here. So another thing that I've been doing is I've been taking a whole lot more time before I shoot, because I've been doing a lot of analysis when I basically try to pick apart a rack. You can see I've got this little area here. If I don't clean up this area, then I can't clean up this area here. So like this is kind of hard to deal with, really. Because the 2 can't go by the 5, so I need to get the 5 gone, but I can't really get to the 5 unless I can land somewhere right here. The 7 ball might be a good break ball if I'm at least right here on the rail. Cut the 7 in and go here, so that means the 6 ball could be a key ball. to the 7. But man, I really don't like the way this layout starts. Like at all. Hmm. So like right now, I really need to decide: do I want the break ball to be the 7 ball or the 9 ball, or do I want to try to manufacture one of these into a break ball? But right now, it looks like I'm going to shoot the 9. So really, what you heard me say earlier is normally I would just stand right here behind the cue ball, sight the ghost ball from here, and then try to shoot it. But now what I do is get behind the 9 ball, try to sight the ghost ball from here, then shift over to the cue ball to make sure that the center of the cue ball is lined up with what I hope to be the center of the ghost ball. Then I try to shoot. I've been doing that more and more lately, which I think has been playing a contributing factor. I mean, I still miss from time to time, but it does seem to help. I didn't think about that too much. I wanted this type of an angle here so that way I could shoot the 14 in and try to come in through here. I still might be able to cheat that pocket a little bit and sneak my way into that area. So, again, because even when I want to cheat the pocket, this is where that routine of getting behind the object ball really seems to pay off, as long as I can still try to step behind the cue ball correctly. Alright, so now I'm in the troublesome area. So I'm actually going to reevaluate everything here. Because I'm almost committed to having this be my key ball break ball. Ah, and that's what I get for cheating the pocket. Okay, so slow start with a 6. So you're safe for the first rack, Bob. So we're going to do a couple of racks with this view, and then probably after I take a break, then we'll switch to another view. Okay, cue ball's coming up table on this one. Got a good shot at the 6. Well, you know what? Well, unless I want to use the 3 ball as a break ball, but really I kind of like the 6 ball better, which means these are probably the key balls for the 6 ball. said, now that I've got a wide open table here, rail ball is considered a trouble ball, so I want to probably prioritize this. And if I'm committed to this being the break ball here, then these two are probably my key balls. When normally any ball that's past the side pocket can also be considered a trouble ball because you really just want to play down at this end of the table. That too soft. It's worked out okay as I start to work my way up table. I gotta be careful though, because this is where the rest of the pattern can be rather critical. Okay, so really, slow down. All right, something like that. Take a drink, Bob. Here's one for you, green tea. And before I forget, and actually, I forgot to do this. All right, so look and see. It's like the tangent line takes me right there, so maybe I just have to stun into it. Hopefully I don't lose control of the cue ball. Check my ghost ball one more time. Okay, not a bad start. Going into the second rack. Trying to bump into the 5, 8, and 9. Not enough side spin. All right. Okay. I have much of a choice now but to shoot my break ball. It's more important to keep the rack alive. Boy, this gets harder and harder. Have another drink, Bob. I'm gonna enjoy this if I keep this up. flat on the 8. Wrong side. Why'd you hit so hard, Chris? Come on. Alright, so alternate route. This is not the original route that I had in mind. So like this, for example, I don't know if you noticed how I just rushed into it because I landed exactly where I wanted it to be. And as part of me trying to break back into my habits, that's why I hesitated, that's why I got back up, that's why I'm resetting, and I'm pretending that like my opponent just missed and I'm coming to this shot, basically. So that way I make sure that I go through my pre-shot routine again. I think this is something everybody does from time to time, where they just roll right into whatever it is that they're doing. Cheers, Bob. This is what I mean by my cue ball control. Like my cue ball is not indicating shooting up exactly where I want it, like which was right here to get flat on the 3. I got an angle, which means I can run into the 13. I don't really have any insurance shots. Obviously, I can shoot the 12. I can maybe try to draw into the 8. The 8's going to run into the 13. After it hits the 13, it's going to hit the 3. I might have a shot at the 13. Or if I hit underneath the 8, the 8's just going to run into the 3, and the 3 is going to clutter up next to the 4 and the 14, which I don't want. I don't think I want to slow roll this for the 9 because the cut is too much. And if I shoot the 3, cue ball's going to run into the 13, and I don't know what I'm going to shoot at next. Of course, I could just try to come all the way around after the 12. Yeah, maybe that's the safer bet. Well, I can't even tell if I can shoot the 8. I am frozen on the 15. Can't throw the 15 in the corner. I don't think I can cut the 8 in now. I wanted to get position on the 11, but I obviously did not want to be frozen on the 15 ball, let alone having to bridge over the 15 ball. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, man! Are you serious? Ah, all right. 42 plus 6, 48. So that puts a nice boost in my average. Man, I can't believe I undercut that ball. So now the hard part is, after doing all of that, do it again, right? Okay, just made a nice break ball. Whoops. There's my fault in cue ball control. Man. I undercut that one. Alright, so that's what, it's only a 11. Let's see. Do I want to do the how many to 100? Yeah, I suppose I can do that. That way I know when to switch camera views and stuff, so y'all can see what all this other stuff is going to look like. Sheesh. When the cue ball sticks to the rack like that, that really sucks. Small masse that I have to do here. Just a small one. Of course, that didn't help since I didn't get position on the 15 like I wanted to. And right there is probably where I should have just slowed down, reset, but I didn't. And that's another break in my pre-shot routine that I'm talking about. So that's what I have to make sure that I keep control of, and just slow myself down and not try to get caught up in the moment, especially just after doing a Relatively difficult shot. But that's my own stubbornness. So I think everybody experiences something like that. Well, this time the cue ball doesn't stick to the rack. Ew. Man. Sometimes just starting the layout can be really difficult. Like I shoot the 2 in, I run into the 11 ball, then what happens? Does it end up creating a clutter that I don't want? Might be able to shoot the 6 next. Shoot the 8, I run into the 5. Does the 5 bump into the 10 or create a 4-ball clutter if I'm not careful? If I shoot the 10, cue ball runs into the 3, does it create a 3-ball clutter? These are all things that I'm concerned about. Now if I can miss the 5 after I shoot the 8, I might be able to shoot the 3. If I hit the 5, then I'm probably going to run right into the 3. Yeah, I'm going to run into the 3 and not have a shot at it. Possibly shoot the 12 and run into the 7. That might be a good thing. It'll kind of open up the 15 for the break ball. Ah, never mind. Especially if I miss and I hit the 15. But I thought I took my time appropriately on that and tried to make sure that I was making the best decision. Ew, this is going to kill my average. A 1. Alright. Reset. Let's try to get another 40 in there. That was close. There's a couple of times I'll still scratch on that opening break shot doing that. And, alright. That's not going to do it. How many of y'all experience this where you feel like your practice session, you start off very strong and then you just start getting weaker and weaker, and then you might eventually bounce back up again and then weaker and weaker and just basically go on a nice roller coaster ride. Because that's pretty much what you're seeing right now. Don't count zeros. So fortunate for that. Gotta at least get into the rack. I'm fine with counting ones if I don't make a shot after the opening break shot. Maybe I'm rushing. Trying to break into this, that way I have the 2-ball as an insurance shot. Maybe I'm rushing. Not supposed to run into the 15. Now begins the snowball effect. Until I finally bounce out of it. So, and this is pretty much what I've been talking about. This is the struggle that I've been dealing with. Yuck. I think I gotta go for this now. 4-ball? Not sure how I feel about this 8-ball yet. Gotta hit the ball, Chris. All right, finally. Oh, wow. was going to run into the 10 ball. All right. Okay, that boosts my average back up a little bit. That's what I want. Let's try a different break. Hit the ball, Chris. All you gotta do is hit the ball. So ideally, I've been wanting to save that 9 ball, but going from the 8 to the 7 is pretty hard. But going from the 9 to the 7 is not very hard. And then maybe I would use the 8 instead. Not the most idealistic end pattern, but a pattern that got us to the end. That was lucky. I was wanting to bump into the 11 and have the 11 hold while the 11 breaks up the rack. I got really lucky on that one. I really thought I missed that. Plus, I missed my shape that I wanted. Wow. Okay. Ah. I've been slightly better at getting to be able to do little breakouts like that. Come on, get over here. Well, that didn't work out. The idea was to get flat on the 12 and follow to right here. So now I guess I'll be on the short side. Unless I miss. And I didn't even get the position. So plus 13, that's a 27. All right. So let's see here. That puts me at 120 points collectively. What do I want to do here? I think I want to turn on this. Hi, everybody. And then I think I want to turn on this and get it out of my face so that way y'all can see me. And does anybody notice the where do I want to put it? Do I want to put it over here? No, put it over here. Does anybody notice the line graph? This is something I actually had another user or a follower. Actually, let's put it right. Let's put it right there. This is something another follower of mine added because I don't know if y'all remember, but I have this program publicly available. There's a post on my community wall where you can find this program to download. I think it's version 1.0.4 now, and I can't remember. Let me see if I can find it. Can't remember the individual's name, so I definitely want to make sure I give him a proper shout out. Let's see if I can find the post. Go blah 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 blah. All right, so here's the post. There's a guy in here. Alan McNabb, I think, is the user here. I don't know if Alan's here or not. But shout out to him for adding the graph that's on here. I'm not entirely sure what the handicap is actually supposed to be for. The way the handicap will start being calculated is after I do 20 attempts. It does so many of the 20 to start calculating what kind of handicap would actually be given. But yeah, definitely want to make sure I give credit where credit's due here. But yeah, so there you have it. Like you see, 7 times I did not get out of the first rack. 2 times I got to the second rack, and then of course I did that 48, which I think is really good. And so, like I said, I'm just gonna take a small break, and then we're gonna switch camera views. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the dual view next, and then I'll give you the side view afterwards. So, all right, so I see I have 74 of you lovely people, and I do have 44 likes. If you haven't done so already, please give this stream a thumbs up. You know, I am going to be trying to do about this. I'm going to be trying to do this more often if I can. So that way I can, just try to be on the up and up, and then as well as try to be able to produce more recorded content. I think I'm starting to finally get a handle on work to where it's not keeping me past close of business days and stuff. So that's going to be good. So when we look at the graph here, you can see that the blue line represents all the scores that I've been entering in. And then the red line basically starts representing my average. So you saw that when I did that 48, the average jumped up, and then the average starts to slowly creep down. As I start, producing lower and lower scores. So if I can start getting those higher scores up again, then we can hopefully start seeing that red line go up. There is a yellow line that you can barely see there because it's always hovering at 0. But at some point in time, that orange line or yellow line is going to start coming up to when it starts calculating an average. I'd have to look at the formula as to what how we determined the handicap is calculated from. Alpine Trainer, you want to know what I do for work? Actually, I am a software developer. So like I built this program here. I actually have another program that I built that I run in my office for when I do my APA league matches, when I review them, because I've got just a simple program that helps me keep score, and I put pool balls on the program so that way I can actually have the pool balls somewhere on the screen, and then I make them disappear as we start to pocket balls and stuff. And so like this program here is written in C#. That's what I started my career in when I used to work for the Department of Defense. But now lately I just do more Java with my current job, because I worked for the Department of Defense for about 9 years, and then finally moved into the private sector because I got tired of being worried about if I was going to have a job or not working as a civilian contractor. But now in the private sector, I really don't have to worry about losing my job unless, of course, I do a poor job. And so far, I haven't had to worry about that. Whew. All right, Bob, so how are you feeling there? Because what? 1, 2. Yeah, you should have taken 5 shots so far. You feeling okay, or you should have had 5 drinks by now? Are you feeling okay? Let's see here. Ryan H, you want to know how many games make? I mean, you can see it here. Like, so I've made a total of 10 attempts. So of those 10 attempts, I've actually encountered 15 total racks. Right, 7 times from 7 times from not getting out of rack 1, and then 4 racks because of getting to rack 2, because I got out of rack 1 and I got into rack 2. So I believe that's 11, and then of course the 4 racks where I got to the 4th rack. That's where 15 comes out of. So of the 15 racks that I've encountered in my 10 attempts, I've only completed 5 of them. And according to Shortstop on Pool's agreement, he should have had 5 drinks by now. Okay. And so when you take the total 15 and multiply by 14, because that's how many points you can typically score in a straight pool rack, unless of course you happen to make the last ball plus the break ball at the same time. That rarely does happen, because then you would have a rack that ends up being 15. But so of the 15 racks, there would be a total of 210 balls. And of those 210 balls, I've made a total of 120 of them. So that's where all of the calculations are coming from. No, the 79, Ryan, that you're asking about, that is my all-time personal best. So if you actually, I can post a video of it here, because I have a recorded video of that. So let me go find it, and I'll just post it in the live chat. Because when I'm not live streaming, I do practice in the background, and anytime I come in here and practice, I always have my cameras running just in case I happen to do really good. So there, in the live chat, you can if you're watching on mobile, click on it later. And then if you're watching on a computer, open it up in another tab. And then of course, check it out after the stream is over here. But yeah, so I would love to beat my personal best live if I could. But I mean, it's either I do or I don't. And then if I don't, when I'm practicing off camera, even though I'm recording, then like I said, if I happen to put up a new high score, then I end up just posting it as a recorded video. As Shortstop on Pools, all caps. I love you guys, man. Is that the drunken stupor chat there, or the drunken stupor talk? Jeffrey Kidwell, you're wanting to know what are you talking about? The conventional break where you shoot a ball into the side pocket and then have the cue ball run into the 2 head balls? If that's the break that you're talking about, that is a break that I typically do. It's the break that I use that I got my personal best on. But I'm doing more of the side breaks because those just come up more often. Or I do try to get a break that's behind the rack. So It just depends, really. I've done plenty and plenty of attempts where I shoot a ball into the side pocket and try to drive the cue ball into the head of the rack. A lot of people that have been following my live streams know that I've done that. And now I've kind of switched to just doing the more on the side of the rack traditional break. Jeffrey Kidwell, you're saying where I break a full rack? I'm playing straight pool. So are you familiar with straight pool? Because when you do high run attempts in straight pool, you don't necessarily start with a full rack. If I had an opponent, I would start with a full rack and actually start with a safety break. But in a high run straight pull attempt, you do start with one ball outside of the rack. You can typically place it anywhere you want onto the table, and you have ball in hand, so that way you can shoot that ball into a pocket and then try to drive the cue ball into the rack and open it up and then try to continue a high run. Whereas, like I said, with a actual match where I have an opponent, you would start with a full rack, and whoever's breaking typically is at a disadvantage because they would start off with some form of a safety break, and then the match would actually begin. Rogers Randall, you're asking how I did in the last monthly tournament. I think I was 1 out of the money because I remember right before I got eliminated, I was in the top 16, and if I would have won my next match, I would have placed in the money, but I got eliminated. So have to wait until another month to give it a try, and then go from there. Murky Joker, like I said, once I find out when this is going to be publicly available, I mean, I'll be sure to let everybody know where they can actually find it. Shortstop on pool. My first attempt was great, and then what changed on the racks after? I can only, if I were to go back and look, I would probably see that the pace at which I approached each of the racks probably changed. So you heard me talk at the very beginning of the stream about how I'm trying to keep a very consistent pre-shot routine by sighting the ghost ball from behind the object ball and then shifting over to the cue ball. And so in these last couple of racks, you know, as I was struggling to, you know, put up the 1 and then the 3 3 3 3, I would probably have to think that I wasn't doing that at a good pace. I was probably maybe feeling a little rushed, especially after putting up a 48, and didn't really calm myself down to just maintain the same pace that I was playing at, to which allowed me to get to the 48. That would be my assumption as to what went wrong, other than the obvious assumption of I was missing, right? But I've said plenty of times that I can't just say like the reason why I'm doing poorly or the reason why I have 7 racks where I didn't get out of the first rack is because I missed. Like that's an overall blanket statement, and of course that's one of the obvious answers. But then what is the real absolute reason? You know, did I choose a wrong pattern? Am I feeling pressured again from doing live streams? You know, was my cue ball transitioning from one shot to the next? Not you like there's always going to be something that you're going to want to really dig deep and find that contributes to the miss, other than you just missed, right? Because that's what I've been doing this whole entire time, where I've been practicing off camera, is really trying to figure out what the hell I've been doing wrong that's been preventing me from doing more 48s or more 27s or whatever. Because I would love to see more 20s and 30s. At the very least to start off, as I continue to climb up and up, and then as I continue to see more like 30s and 40s, and then eventually another really good high run jumps in there out of nowhere, and then I start averaging 30s and 40s again, and then another high run, and the next thing you know I'm averaging 40s and 50s, etc., etc. But that would be my thought as to maybe what had happened. Buffalo132, you're asking me if I have any videos where I talk about Q-tips because there are so many options and how you know what's best for you. Well, I mean, you said it yourself. You're the one that's going to figure out what's best for you, not me. I do have 2 videos, I think, where I've replaced 2 tips using my Q lathe that I have here. Let me hide this. So I have a Q lathe. I do replace my own tips, and I replace the tips of my local players and stuff. So yeah, like I mean, you just have to find what works best for you. It's the same thing with finding what cue works best for you, what kind of shaft works best for you. What millimeter shaft, what weight. right? It's all personal preference. There's not really one universal answer. I like what I like. I have the Predator tuxedo with a 12.9 millimeter shaft. Where's the cube? Yeah, there it is. With a 12.9 millimeter shaft, and that one has the Predator Victory soft tip. For the longest time, I've always shot with medium tips, but once I got the Revo came with a soft tip, and I started to really enjoy using soft tips. Robert Allison is asking me how is the how tip working, because that's the tip that I have on my Predator Black 4.5, and I'm really enjoying that one as well. I've been wanting to make a follow-up video on it because it has mushroomed. It's mushroomed a couple of times, and since then I would always cut the side of the tips to flatten it back to the ferrule. But with the follow-up video that I want to do, I want to basically show that, with brand new tips, as you wear them in, they start to mushroom them out, and then what you'd want to do is cut off the mushroom so that way it's nice and flat with the ferrule again, and then of course just give you a follow-up opinion about that. Now, having said all that, I do have something going on in the background that I may be changing tips again. Not entirely sure, and so I don't necessarily want to jump the gun. Like this was one of the announcements I've been holding on to for quite some time until it finally became official. So that way I can actually talk about it, is having the onboard sponsorship. But if everything goes the way I want, yeah, I might be changing tips on all of my cues here soon. But I don't really want to go into any more details about that until I nail down the specifics about that. Let's see here. But like I said, the how soft that I'm using, fantastic. I actually really like it. I've been playing very well with it when I go play in at my local pool hall, like for my leagues and my tournaments and stuff. And so it's very comparable to the Victory soft tip that comes on the Revo. Now, there is a difference. It's going to be very difficult for me to explain what the difference is. It's more of a feeling when I actually hit the cue ball, the vibration of the cue as it comes into my hand, comes into my arm. You can feel a difference, and to me, it's a good difference. I'm not going to describe it as a better difference, but it's a good difference that makes me enjoy using the cue or enjoy using the tip. Like I don't see a problem with the tip, but other people might if they decide to use it, and that's why Buffalo, you were asking about tips. That's why there's no answer that I can give you that'll be helpful, because I'm not going to say just use this tip, so that way you can say, well, little Chris told me to use this tip and I tried it and I hate it. Right? I don't want to put myself in that type of position. You're asking Buffalo 132, the difference between hard and soft tip. I mean, the texture of the tip. I mean, you'll definitely notice you'll hear a distinct sound between super soft, medium, and hard, and then of course phenolic. Like they will all produce different sounds, and those different sounds will also produce a different feeling in your grip hand as the cue will obviously vibrate when the cue hits the cue ball, and you're holding it in your hand. And those are usually what people are going to relate to as to like why they like something versus why they don't like something. All right. Now, I'm all rested up. Y'all want to see this other view here? Tell me what y'all think of this. Let me see here. I think I need to turn this off. And I need to switch to this, I think. Nope, I need to switch to this real quick, turn this off, and then switch back to this. And then I can turn this on. What do y'all think of this view here? Now, when I actually start playing, I'm going to turn the face camera off. So the only thing that I don't like is there's just going to be this, this empty space in the upper left-hand corner. Unless you want to stare at these at the same time. I can obviously leave this up there, but this is the dual view. Like, let me go. See? Now, the only problem that I'm aware about the GoPro view, because the GoPro view is being used as a web camera, you'll notice that there's like there's some sort of slight delay, and between the main view and the GoPro view, because the GoPro is what's up top. Now, I don't necessarily think it's a delay issue. What I actually think is wrong is this camera here with the ring light is a Logitech Brio. That is broadcasting at 60 frames per second. The GoPro 8, when it's in webcam mode, I think can only broadcast at 30 frames per second. So that's why there's this slight difference between the two, but it's not terribly noticeable, if that makes sense. So we're going to try a couple of runs this way. I'm currently at 120. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to open up a notepad so I can write 120. Because then I'm going to stop when I get to 220, or at least that's the idea, because then I'll know I've scored another 100 points. So yeah, let's see how this is going to look for a live stream. Now I'm going to turn this off, and like I said, there's just this nice empty space there up at the upper left-hand corner. I'm not entirely sure what to put up there, unless, of course, like I said, you want to stare at my. I guess I might as well leave it up. That way you can stare at this stuff at the same time. I don't know. I'll get everybody's feedback later when I watch the replay. So this is obviously going to be very involved. So it's one of those, like, focus on one, and not both at the same time. All right, so I think everything's in place. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we can do here. That's just gross. To get that cluster like that. That is just gross. And I definitely feel like swinging for it right now. That's the best thing I could have asked for there. Yeah, y'all are gonna have to tell me when I get back, like, how does this look? And can y'all notice the delay that I'm talking about? But unless I put another webcam up here, which I can obviously do, like I said, that's why you're going to see just a small little delay. And I think that 11 ball's in the rack, so we can't use that as a break ball. I'm always looking at new things to try to make the show a little bit better. Near the side pocket. I'm thinking that the 6 ball is probably going to be my break ball with the way this is looking. The 12 ball can be used as a break ball, even though it's just a little high on the rack. Slow down. Man. Fly in here. That's lovely. Debating on shooting the 8 or the 6. Like the 6 is obviously easier where it's at. And I did not want to do that. Like I said, so because I have a rack outline, I can actually see that part of this 11 ball here overlaps the rack outline. So that's why this is considered to be in the rack. Even though if I were to take 2 balls and put them here, right? They're not touching the 11 ball. But the 11 ball is touching the rack, so therefore I can't use it as a break ball. Well, what am I gonna do? let's try to get to the second rack so that way Bob has to take another drink. Come on, big bounce, big bounce. All right, I just have to flare the cue ball on this one. Sometimes you just have to, what's referred to as take your medicine, take what the table gives you, come up with something. And really, I wanted the cue ball to be like right here, so that way I can cut the 12 into the side pocket and try to hit the rack like this, or maybe come behind the rack. But how's it look? All right. So we look and see that I might have to go here, here, and then try to hit the rack from the side, which runs a risk of scratching, maybe. Well, at least I hit the rack. I can be happy about that. Okay, this is kind of the same shot I just had. Cut it to the side, make the cue ball do the same exact route. No! That's what I was afraid of. to happen on the initial break, so that ball doesn't count. And then +2. So 16. I guess that worked. Wasn't quite the result I was looking for. Either was that. Ah. This is the result that I was looking for, but come on, I gotta make the shot too. Come on, let's get a good number going. Feel refreshed, you know. Cue ball just sticks to the rack like that.
Don't think I wanted that thin of a cut shot. I wanted it to draw back just a smidge. Just a smidge. But I think I decelerated my stroke right at the last second and didn't quite transfer the momentum I had in mind. If the cue ball would have drew back like a couple of inches, I think that would have been perfect. Now, this is doable, so I just need to clear my head about it. Get up here, 3. Make my life easier. Now, in all actuality, when it comes to that shot, I was just more focused on making this, knowing that the cue ball was coming down here, but I didn't quite have an exact idea of where it was going to end up. So I was more concerned about just getting myself into this rack. Play the 5 ball.
That's a very ideal end pattern where those last two shots were just stop shots. That was dangerous. I don't have a shot at this 8. Oh, okay. That was really dangerous what I just did there. I got away with it. Reset. Matter of fact, get a drink. So this is something I've been trying to get my APA players to understand, that after you just get done doing something difficult, don't just flow right into the next shot. You know, come to the table, get a drink, you know, do whatever, step away from the table, and then come back. Well, hello. The star of the show is here. Yeah? flat on the floor, huh? That worked out nicely. Bob, you should be wasted by now. Get position on the 7 so I can try to break the 3 and the 10 open. Grab. All right. Serious reevaluation point here. What do I do? Oh, not that, of course. Come on. Crap. 4. 46. Oh, I cannot believe I did that. Alright, so now what we don't want to happen is for a streak of rack 1s to come out again, like last time. Alright, so just calm down and reset and rinse and repeat. Beneficial if that ball would have stayed up. Like 5 ball. Like the way I have to stretch for that, so I'm going to deal with it later. did this before where I tried to use the one ball to break into the rack so that way I could hold my cue ball. So I'm going to try to do it again. I did the same exact thing where I missed the one ball altogether. That was literally the same exact thing I just did. Or the thing, what I did last time. Figured it was safer to do that than to try to get the cue ball right here. on, 11. Ah, not quite. Not quite. I guess I should have drew it more. But then I felt like I would have lost control if I'd have done that. Okay, so 11 ball right here. And not quite. So 29. Whew. Ooh, I'm almost there. Dang. Okay. Yuck. Like, seriously, yuck. I hate it when my cue ball does that. cool. Not what I had in mind. So I think that one was a little lucky. had just a couple of shots that went a little out of my control and had some fortunate shots after that. And once I discovered those fortunate shots, I was able to maintain everything. Whew. Oh gosh, I cannot believe I did that. All right. And that was probably me rushing. Plus 4. 32. So, this is looking much better than before. I'm now currently at 246. So let's look at this and we can see how much better things are looking. Because I think the last time it took me to score 100 was in 10 attempts, and this time I got away with it in 5 attempts. And then now, like, there's more. What? Actually, think about this. Because if I remember correctly, when I took my first break, I had 7 times that I could not get out of the first rack. This time, I got out of the first rack every time except 1. Because that's since I now have a count of 8. So this is fantastic. My average is above 16 or above 14. So right now, I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy with this. And so you can see with the graph, now that I got that 46 plus that 48 to go along with it. But, you know, now that I'm sitting here in front of everybody, what do y'all think of this layout? I mean, like, if anybody has any ideas as to what I can put up here in the upper left-hand corner, or just having 3 cameras going at once is good. I mean, you know, let me know. I saw a fur ball running around here. So I know a lot of people like to see the fur ball. Hi. What are you doing? Oh, come here. Yeah. And you got your ball in here too? Are you gonna play around? Oh my gosh. Right? Aren't cats supposed to get you like 1 million views or something? I mean, look at this chunky fellow. Right? He's the real star of the show here. Say hi to everybody. You could give a crap about this, huh? What are you doing? So for those who are new, this is Zelda. Zelda's a he. It's a funny story as to what happened, because this is a rescue cat, and at the time when he was taken to the vet identified him as a girl. Yeah, see? You remember that, don't you? And then what ended up happening was, when it was time to get her fixed, a phone call later says that there's a problem. And they're like, what is that? And it's like, well, we found something, and it's not a girl. So I was like, well, that just makes it easier to get them fixed then, because I think it's cheaper to fix boys than it is girls. You want down? All right. I'll play with your ball. There. Okay. Whew. All right. Eddie Sedgwick, I think Zelda weighs close to like somewhere between 13 and 15 pounds. I think. Chip sounder. I should have a Zelda cam. That's actually something I can possibly pull off because I do have another GoPro. That's the reason why I was able to mount this one permanently up at the top, so that way I can still use another GoPro as a head cam. Except the only problem is doing a GoPro as a head cam for live streaming is I either have to have this long cable dangling from me, or I can do an over-the-air capture of the webcam streaming to the computer, but then that means there's going to be a delay. So whatever you see on one camera, then like 1 or 2 seconds later, the GoPro view will finally catch up, and then you'll see that. So I've done it before on some previous live streams, and it just didn't really look the best. But I can still be able to use a head cam as for like recorded content or something. But yeah, like what do y'all think of the dual view as I scroll around the live chat? Let's see. So it's always refreshing to see people are just chatting amongst themselves. This is good. Don't see any bots, even though I just jinxed myself. And everybody's talking about J-Flower cues. Oh, cool. Death Slayer Billiards thing, sell advertising in that space. Well, I mean, that's what look in the lower right corner. Where the onboard sportswear is. And then of course, my logo. I mean, like I said, once this design becomes available, I can make like a slideshow or something that I can put up there in the upper left. To do something like that. I don't know. John Smith, you like the dual view? Edric Munster, like, yeah, okay. So this is good. So like, this is something I can do from time to time. You know, it doesn't. The show doesn't always have to stay static. I have one more view that I can go through, which is going to be a side view. Now it's the furthest away, like this wall over here, where the other camera is furthest away than this camera here, and it's higher up so that way I can capture the entire table. But I mean, y'all will just have to give me the opinions of what do you like, because what I can also do is toggle between, like right now you see the front view and the top view. Well, I can do a top view and a side view. I can do a front view and a side view. You know, I can mix and match. I mean, heck, even where I have this camera right now, I can make that the side view, and you can have 3 different views all at once, which means there's gonna be a whole lot of crap that you can't even keep up with. Could be too much going on the screen. Yeah, John B., I would imagine that this kind of view is probably more difficult to watch if you're watching on some sort of mobile device. But I try to take into account all of that. Some people are watching on computers, some people are watching on big screen TVs, some people are watching on tablets, some people are watching on mobile. So it's like, yeah, that's why I really wanted to try to figure out how to do all this extra stuff. Like I said, just to change things up a bit, to make things more interesting. Mike Fields, I'm still wondering how I missed the one ball as well. I have no excuse. I missed. You know, the way that I'm playing right now is obviously the way I was playing in the beginning, where I didn't have those 7 racks that I didn't get out of the first rack. So all I can do is just continue to do what I'm doing, and I mean, we'll see how the night goes. I mean, right now I'm really enjoying the night since I got that 48 and I got another 46. John Smith, this is a Diamond Pro-Am table. So Pro-Ams are basically tables that have ball returns, and this is an 8-foot table, 4x8 with Pro-Cut pockets, 4.5 corner pockets with 5-inch side pockets. I do have plans on wanting to get them shimmed after I get the table refelted. I had someone that I was going to have do it, but they won't come do it every time I ask about it. So I need to call and see if there's someone, like a local business, that does it. And I think I found one. I just haven't called them yet. But I mean, the felt on this table is about 3, maybe 4 years old. And I'm about to kill a fly. Oh, I missed. The ball got in the way. It's just one fly. And I've got a UV light attractor in the right above my sprinkler system console. But that thing will get attracted to it when I leave, and all the lights are off, and that UV light actually attracts him. Then there's a sticky pad in there that'll kill him. Eddie Cedric temporary shims do exist, but I'd rather mine be permanent. It's just something that I want to do for myself to make me play better on my own table. And then when I go out in public where I encounter 4.5 by 5-inch pockets or whatever, then then it feels like I'm playing on buckets. Like that's all. It's just something to make me want to play better. That forces me to play better. I think that's the right way to phrase it. Why does the color look so different? Well, the GoPro, as far as I know, I don't want to say it's 4K. Let me see. I'm not entirely sure. And actually, I can't look at it right now from the. Or actually, what I can do. Oh, y'all want to see something funny? Watch this. Let's see what this looks like. There, how about that? You can see my microphones that are suspended above the table. But now my rails look curved. Or I could do this. Look at that. How's that look? Like if I go walking around? Yeah, look at that. So like this is what's called super view. And the previous one before that was wide view. And the one that I did was linear. So you can see that the table kind of looks curved when I do this. And I have a way to straighten out the rails out in my streaming software. But I don't know, like of the three, which is there one that you thought that was better? Because the fisheye view can be fixed within the streaming software. Because I've done it before, but then once I saw that I was able to do this is how I've used the GoPro in the past. Now, but nonetheless, let's switch over to this, because then there's this view. This is the side view well, not that view. Why did I do that? I meant this view. There we go. And then I could turn this back on. But this is my side view that I plan on doing. Give you a glimpse of it. Right, so I can use this view, the front view, or even the overhead view. One or the other. So this is going to be my last set of attempts. I'm currently at 246 at 15 attempts. Let's see how long it takes me to get to 346 or more. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So let me turn this back off. So that way, now that you've seen three different fields of view, y'all can tell me which ones you like the best. And typically that means that's the one I'm going to use the most. Oh, come on. Start like that. That's garbage. Luckily, I don't count zeros because that would just kill my average. I did count zeros at one point. And then I decided to stop. Yeesh. All right. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. That didn't happen. There was a glitch in the matrix. Erase that from your memories. Really? Oh, I'm a little flat on that ball. Bob, if you're still here, I learned that shot from you, where you don't try to draw the ball and spin it back, but you kind of let it drift up and let the spin pull you back. I just didn't hit it hard enough. I think on one of your racks of the weeks, you had highlighted that kind of shot, and that's exactly what I tried. Great. Let's see here. Whew. Best I can do. Let's try to work with it, right? Tricky. Boy. Actually, you know what? Yeah, 2 ball. Ah, I only did that just to try that, just to try to open the rack up. Because I think after the 8, like there was some very slim chances of me having another shot. But the combo gave me some more opportunities if I would have hit the combo, but I didn't. that ball later. Play the 11. Well, now I have to deal with it. That was dumb. Come on. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Well, I'm glad I'm getting out of the first rack now. Or more often. That's a huge milestone for me. Oh boy. my soul. That just hurt my soul. Dangerous. honestly don't even know what to do here. So I think because there's no way really for me to shoot the 6-ball off of the rack. I don't even think that's possible. I mean, I don't know, maybe. Oh, screw it. 6 in the corner. I'm gonna go for it anyway. That's what I thought. I don't think there was an angle for me to shoot the 6 off the rack. I tried to make it go off the 9, but I ended up shooting it flat into the 9. Great. Reset. Where am I at? Okay. Shot that one better. Magnetic. That time I missed. See, same shot. Let the cue ball drag up, and then try to spin it back. But I think I rushed on that one. Already wasn't happy with what I did. I think I overcut that one. I hit it hard enough because I can't see the 12. Yeah. The idea was to shoot the 12 next, but I can't. It's a good thing we have backups. Ah, that's just ridiculous. I do stuff like that. That's just ridiculous. That's worse. You know, this whole time I've been trying to target this 4-ball, but I can't get here. Well, I think I have to shoot it down. I was hoping to bump it in front of the side pocket. Man. I thought I put more than enough spin. This is terrible. I thought I put more than enough spin to go down there and get a little flat on that last ball that I just shot, so I can use my 2-ball appropriately for a freaking break ball. But I didn't put enough spin to come off the short rail. So this is gonna be a fun shot. Only thing I can do. Alright. I think, depending upon what I score here, this may be the last attempt. See what I mean by sometimes I still scratch? I think that's the first time I've done that yet. Or done that now. Oh, now I'm going to jinx myself for the last attempt. do one more attempt. I'm 1 point away from scoring 100. I mean, technically speaking, I should end now, but I haven't officially scored 100 points in these series of attempts. So. Final attempt. Oh! And that was exactly what I wanted to happen as far as bumping into that 15 ball. I can't believe I missed the 13. So is that 2, 4, 6, 8? That's a 7. Whew. Ah! Let's move this out of the way so that way I can do this. And let's do this. And we'll push this over here. Kind of like that. All right. Well, I'm not above 14, but I did hit 14 this time, which I think is good. At least for me. At least for me. And wow, Tony, thanks for being here, man. I actually feel like this was a good performance by me. This has definitely been much better than what it has been. I don't know. Everybody else would just have to tell me, what they thought in regards to the performance. Because what is it overall? That's an even split. 12 times I didn't get out of the first rack, and 12 times I did get out of the first rack. So I think that's pretty good. I think that at least all I can do is hope that I can keep this up. And you can see now the handicap is starting to work its way in again. I'll have to study the formula as to why or what the handicap counts itself for. But yeah, getting that, letting y'all see that 48 and that 46. Clearly, I think I could have gotten to the 50s. I think there were some careless misses in that one. But then to get the 29 and the 32, all the same. But yeah, I'm very pleased. And considering that my average has gone up, usually I average between 10 to 12. Now that I've pushed it up to 14, I can only hope that I continue to push it forward from here on out. So before I end, what did y'all think of all of the different views? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off and turn this off. Oh, not that. I want to turn this off. And we're going to switch to this. And so what do y'all think? We have this main view here, which is usually the custom view, or the standard view that everybody has seen. And then of course we just got done seeing this view here. And then everybody seemed to at least enjoy this view for the most part, you know. But of the three, like which show me some votes here. Like what do we think? What do we think all of them do for us? So like Eves, he thinks the original view is the best, and then we have the overhead, this overhead view as the next, and then the side view is last. And I would pretty much tend to agree with that for the most part. But like I said, it's different things, so that way I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over. I just have to figure out what actually, you know what I could do? I know what I can do. Let's see here. Let's turn this on. And let's turn this off. Here's what I can do. This ought to be fun. This is pretty much what I did with the pool balls. Ha! What do y'all think of that? How about if I do this? You can obviously have the face cam as well, but when I'm playing, I just turn the face cam off, and this is in the background. So I think something like this, I think. Let's lock this and do this. Looks like it needs to come down a little bit more. Yeah. What do y'all think of that? Like, how about that for this view? Does this work for everybody? And then if I wanted to, I could still do this. I can add another window capture. And we'll add another one of these, and we could stick this over here. So that way, if we want to see all the numbers and stuff, that can still be here. So I can do something like that. How does that work? That way you can have this graphical representation of how I'm actually doing while I'm playing. And you know what? I definitely ought to figure out. I definitely ought to figure out how to have this graph on all of them. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just making up stuff as I go along here. But I tell you what, let's go back to this view here and turn this on. There we go. Okay, well, like I said, that's going to pretty much wrap things up for tonight's show. Like I said, I am very pleased with tonight's performance. I can only hope that I can just continue this up. I can say, though, that even though I struggled to play straight pool, all of these straight pool attempts are having a very, very positive effect on my 8-ball game. I can't really say if it has an effect on my 9-ball game yet. I just need to play more 9-ball. But with regards, oh, you want the overhead view for the full size? Let me do here. I'll do this for you. I'm gonna add a new scene. This is just gonna be overhead view. Right now it's blank, and then what we'll do is we'll add the video capture device, we'll add the GoPro, and blam, there you go. This is what the overhead view would look like. I already did I did a 9-ball break and run video not too long ago, where I was talking about keeping the cue ball on the good side of the shot line, and I pretty much this was pretty much the bulk of the video. Now, one thing people did point out to me, like if you look at the 13 ball that's in the corner, it looks ovalish, it looks more oval shaped than circular shape. And so there's going to be just things that there's just going to be things that I have to play around with. And then I was showing other people this stuff. For example, like if I change this to wide view, then you're going to get the fisheye view, and you can see my microphones that are above the table. And I can actually fix this a little bit to where it won't look so curved. It just takes some more messing around with it. And then there's this super view where you can actually see some of my chairs that are over there. I mean, look at that. Look how far out that is. You can see my vacuum here. Like, this is nuts, right? Like I can do this because then you can see me. But all I got to do is just fix the fisheye view, which I did learn can be done. So like, you know, there's no telling what kind of stuff I can do with this. Like the sky's the limit. So which is the main reason why I wanted to do all of this stuff. I mean, heck, for all intents and purposes, I can try to do this. Let's do. Actually, we want to keep part of the black mat. That way, you'll be able to see me. And let's get rid of the microphone, and we'll just do that for now. Let's get rid of this, and let's go up to right around there, and then let's stretch this out. All right, so I can have something like that. But as you can see, the side rails, actually the whole thing looks a little curved, but I can fix this. You're wondering about the height. If I remember correctly, it was 4 feet. The camera is about 4 feet. I don't remember how many inches, like above the table, because right above my table is a garage door opener motor, and I have a DeWalt clamp clamped around the garage door opener motor, and then I have a GoPro clamped to that basically holds the GoPro. That's how I'm able to do this. All right, so I've got all kinds of new toys and stuff for me to play with to be able to try to figure this stuff out and just make things, you know, more entertaining. On top of trying to do high runs, obviously do educational stuff and whatnot. Tony, yes, because what's above my table is a GoPro. So if I do any of those standard views, that's why you get the curvature rails, which is what's referred to as the fisheye view. But then there is a lens mode called linear, which is what I was using tonight. That basically makes everything look nice and straight. But with my streaming software, I can take that view that makes my rails look curved, and I can straighten them out. So if I spend some time messing around with that, then I can obviously check and see if whether or not if the balls will be more circular or spherical shaped rather than oval shaped. But this is all part of the learning in regards to trying to get this stuff figured out. I would really love to figure out how to get my audio to sound like this when I'm out at the table, but you know that's just gonna take more time. But all of this would eventually change if I ever move to a new house and actually can have my table inside rather than in my garage. All right, so these are all things that I just look forward to, and then I just try to work with what I got. I've got a lot of money invested into this garage to be able to do everything that I do here. So yeah, I think besides that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I want to thank everybody who's made it here to the end. Obviously, if you're new to my YouTube channel and you enjoyed what you saw here, at least in the live stream, please consider subscribing to the channel. I am trying to work on now getting over 100,000 subscribers. I think last time I checked, I finally did break over the 80,000 limit. I'm currently sitting at 80,116 subscribers, which is awesome. So just as much as I'm doing a road to 100 in straight pull, I also have a road to 100,000 subscribers. And that's when I'm going to do another big giveaway. Not exactly sure what I'm going to give away just yet. But yeah, like there's definitely got to be like some sort of big celebration type of thing, because 100,000 subscribers means I'm going to get that YouTube select plaque that I'll get to put up somewhere here in my garage or wherever to showcase. It's definitely something that I would be proud of doing, considering that I just do this as a hobby, and rather than like a full-time job or something. So I think it's awesome. If the live stream wasn't enough to attract your subscription, then maybe consider looking through my channel and checking out some of my videos, and especially my educational videos where I teach aspects of the game. And if you find that they're helping, those kinds of videos will help improve your game, then of course, then consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so already, at least for the stream, please give this stream a thumbs up. Like I said, I went through a lot of different things to be able to set up all these different views. Hopefully next is when I'm probably going to finally activate my Restream subscription, so that way I can start streaming to multiple platforms, like to my Facebook page. Don't know if I'm going to stream to Twitch or not, but for now, maybe just stream to 2 different locations, so that way my Facebook followers, which most of my Facebook followers are YouTube followers as well, but I can start attracting more followers from different platforms and then bring them all together. I think that's at least the idea. Now, for everybody else that has popped in and out of the stream, thank you so much for being here, and for anybody that watches the recast of the stream, especially after I timestamp everything, so it's easier to watch rather than watching from beginning to end. Thanks for being here. I'm hoping that I'm going to get to do this stuff a little bit more often as work appears to be calming down. Or I'm getting a better handle on being able to work and not work until the wee hours of the night. So we'll just have to wait and see. But until next time, take care, everybody, and have a good night.